evening, beloveds. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Good evening to each and every one of you. Hope everyone is having a great evening so far. Blessed Sunday to all of my soul family, my loving soul family. Blessed Sunday. Blessed Sunday to all of you. Hi there. Roll right in. Thank you. Likewise. Bendiciones para ti también. All of my beautiful soul family. Awesomeness. Awesomeness. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So great to see all of you on here tonight. I will start off by saying happy Sunday. I will start off by saying happy Mother's Days, whether you celebrate it or not. If you're a mother, that's it should be a daily celebration for all of you. If you are a mom, it should be a daily celebration for each and every one of you sacred mothers of this earth. You're welcome. Blessings to you. Awesomeness, awesomeness. You're welcome, Miss Cuba. You're welcome. I hope that everyone at least has had a very safe and peaceful day and evening. Again, happy, blessed, grand, and glorious happy Mother's Days to every single mother out there. Every single mother out there. And many blessings and happy Mother's Days to your moms and your mothers and your sisters and your aunts and grandmothers, if they are around. Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of them, including yourself. I said earlier in my post that I shared in my stories and on my feed that I was going to entitle this message Push. And I know it sounds kind of funny, but it really isn't when you really think about it. And hopefully, it is my prayer that Spirit, the universe, Mother Goddess, is able to assist me in being able to deliver tonight's message that I've been feeling very heavy in my heart. And it's titled Push. Now let's get a little background here. Let's get a little background here. Before religions around the world, the powerful religions around the world became so influential that it became patriarchal. Let there be no doubt that women were always ruling before. This is thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. Religion came around, and men found a way to elevate the masculine and lower the feminine vibration. And this is across the board in countless of worldwide powerful religions around the world. The world, in my spiritual opinion, you don't have to agree, and I'm sure there are many people that don't, needless to say, because everyone in the world cannot always agree with you, and I'm okay with that. But that's not going to stop me from being able to deliver and share what I wholeheartedly believe. Men, us men, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, found women's power to be threatened, to be threatening to their vibration. And instead of being intelligent men that would join its power with the feminine to become the invincible, united vibration that can together govern and guide, man became threatened. And that threat started pushing to the back of the line the strong feminine vibration that exists on this earth. Decade after decade, centuries after centuries, the patriarchal energy is the one that's been very dominant. But let me tell you something. In this age of Aquarius that we are getting ready to fully walk into, times are indeed changing. The vibrations are changing. Whether the masculine likes it or not, the vibrations are changing. Why? Because Mother Earth, the universe, Mother Goddess, the Creator, wants balance. The universe is in need of balance. In the process of acquiring, attaining, reaching in, and bringing about this much needed balance, there's a lot of losses, there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of wars, there's a lot of battles, there's much conflict going on because, of course, needless to say, masculine vibration does not want to give in. Masculinity, the masculine energy vibration does not want to give in. It's been in power for too long. It's been in power for too many centuries, for thousands of years. So don't think that, it's an easy sailing journey, because it's not. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be impossible, and power will have to be given back to whom it always belonged to. I wanted to start off there because it is important for us collectively and individually to start recognizing that we should not continue to be in competition with each other, but more so, we should be trying to find balance. Balance. Now, when Spirit gave me this message that I'm about to share with you earlier today, it reminded me, I was reminded that women have always been a candidate for constant change. Women have always been a candidate for constant change. Women were built for constant change. And this change is very physical by nature, let's say. It's a better word, better choice of word, by nature, is something that just happens. From the moment in time that women hit puberty, all the way until menopause knocks on the door, change is always coming about in a woman's life. Constantly. For the woman that decides to birth a child, for the woman that doesn't or isn't able to birth a child, a woman is always changing. The body is changing. See, us men, we don't have to deal with that. Us men, we go through puberty, right? But in a different kind of way. But us men, we have a choice. Listen to this. Us men, we have a choice after puberty, to participate in certain rites of passages. We have a choice to engage in the changes of life to adulthood and to embrace, intelligence and to embrace changes. It's a choice. Women, whether women like it or not, puberty is going to come, whether women like it or not. Menstrual cycle is going to come, whether women like it or not. When she's going to give a birth, the body is going to change, whether women like it or not. Menopause is going to come. Women is always changing. What does that have to do with push? What does that have to do with tonight's Spiritual Sunday message on Mother's Day? Spirit is simply here tonight to remind every single woman, those of you that are young, those of you that are of age, those of you that are in the older range, those of you that are maybe teenagers, young ladies that might possibly be listening to this live. Spirit is here tonight to remind each and every one of you that you were born for change. You were born for constant change. You were born to embrace change. You were born to be about change. You were born to bring about change. You were born to push the best out of you. What happens? In the process of abandonment, in the process of pain, in the process of deception, in the process of betrayal, in the process of trauma, in the process of the body prepping you for something that you might not emotionally or mentally be ready for. Sometimes there's a paralysis. There are events, situations, and experiences in your life that paralyzes you. It freezes you. And you forget to connect with your innate power, which is change. That is innate in women. Us men, we have to go out and be about the change. If we want, if we choose to, if we are intelligent enough. Women are, by nature, an energy that continuously changes. Continuously. Whether we're mentally ready or not, women always change. There are a lot of women in this day and age that are, the word I'm looking for says stuck in the time capsule. It feels like sometimes unable to really see where they're going, unable to see where they're supposed to go, where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to embrace. So many women around the globe are in this, what I like to refer to as this paralysis, emotional paralysis, mental paralysis, and even physical too. Emotional. This age of Aquarius and the vibration that the universe is reintroducing, mind you, I didn't say introducing, but it's reintroducing back into our world, is inviting women to be open to what they were always able to do, which is change and embrace change and be about change. Tonight's Spirit comes with a message that I hope pushes you to keep pushing through. I don't know how many mothers are in this live. Feel free to raise your hand. Feel free to drop a thumbs up, hands up, a blue heart. Tonight, we'll do blue hearts tonight in representation of Mother Earth, in presentation of Mother Goddesses, in the presentation of water energy, water vibration. We'll do blue hearts tonight. Um, I don't know, because I've never been in your shoes and never will be. But I do know a little tiny, very, very, very tiny bit. And I can definitely say, and if any women, especially mothers, specifically mothers, on here disagree with what I'm about to say, by all means, please let me know. But I believe that when a woman is pregnant and she goes through all those trimesters and gets ready to birth that child, even holding such precious life in her womb, nothing can ever prepare her enough for what's going to really go down. Nothing can ever truly prepare you enough for what goes down in that delivery room, for what goes down at the moment that baby decides to come. No matter how many books you read, no matter how much coaching you get, no matter how many prenatal classes you take, nothing can really prepare you for that moment. A moment in time in which life is hanging by a string. Correct me if I'm wrong. Life is hanging by a string. Why is life hanging by a string? Because it is said, I have read, I have studied, that when women are about to give birth, they are literally between life and death, even when it's a so-called a smooth delivery. A smooth delivery. The act of delivering puts you between life and death. See, the body has to accommodate. The body has to prepare itself to push so hard. Because if it doesn't prepare, the physical body would die. The physical body would die. Literally, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, if I'm off, if it doesn't make sense to you, ladies. Correct me if you think I'm not making sense. Woman has the woman's body have to prepare itself for what's coming. And guess what happens? What happens is that a woman's body prepares not by the books she reads, not by the instructions she receives, not by the coaching, not by the countless of videos that might be on YouTube and on the web. Woman's body prepares for something so sacred by nature. You can get intellectually informed, but that does not prepare you. You are prepared by nature. Nature prepares your body to experience something so sacred. Bear with me. I'm trying to get this message across. Am I making any sense so far, beloveds? Am I making any sense so far? Santo Dios mío. By nature, woman's body prepares to give birth. That preparation, in my opinion, but who am I to say? That's why there's a lot of women on here. You tell me if you agree with what I'm saying or not. The body is prepared by nature. It's not prepared by what you read and the videos you watch and the instructions and the coaching you get. No. It's helpful. Needless to say, it is helpful. And more than helpful for me, I believe, I don't know, I'm not a woman. I believe it's very supportive, especially in this day and age. There's much more information out there that helps a woman prepare, right? So it's very supportive. But the preparation, see, I try to be very specific with my words. The preparation, beloveds, happens by nature. Through the power of nature, you are able to push that child out of your womb while your own life is halfway between two worlds, between life and death. Sadly, many women around the world from times immemorial have lost a battle and have died, have physically died. And baby, more often than not, have been able to be welcomed into this world because mother's body wasn't able to sustain the pressure that the body went through in delivering the child. Only God knows why. I don't know why, nor do I claim to know why, nor am I attempting to say that I know why. That why can only be answered by God. Because needless to say, God gave women the ability to be able to go through such a process, right? Well, tonight, Spirit brings me on because I want to remind each and every one of you mothers. There's a couple of things that Spirit wants to talk about tonight, and it's not just for mothers, but I'll get to the other group in a little bit. For mothers, for those that have given birth, Spirit speaks to you tonight. Spirit speaks to you tonight from a place of compassion, from a place of understanding, of support, from a place of love. As I was praying over this message earlier today, I got so many visions. I received so many visions in where I saw one too many broken relationships between mother and son, between mother and daughter, between mother and her offsprings, her children. One of my prayers tonight is that, in hopes that there can be some kind of unification between mothers and her children. That's one of my prayers tonight, just one of them. My other prayer tonight is for children, whether they are babies, whether they are young children, whether they are adolescents, whether they are adults, grown men and women, children, because at the end of the day, whether we are 19, 15, 10, or 50, or 60, or 40, we will always be our parents, our mother's child. So it is my prayer tonight also that those children out there in the world are able to be a little more understanding and compassionate towards their mother. Because being a mother does not mean that you are perfect. Being a mother does not mean that you have all the answers. Being a mother does not mean that you are always right. But I often see children who are very harsh towards their mothers because they don't understand why mother did X, Y, and Z. Why is it that mother did this or failed to do that or couldn't say this or couldn't understand that, or etc., etc. It is imperative to understand that our mothers, whether our ego and whether our inner child accepts this truth or not, it is important to understand that our mothers did the best they knew how to. They did the best that they could. They did the best that they knew with the information that was available to them, with the information that they got. Many mothers around the world, sadly, have fallen victim of generational behaviors, generational patterns that don't get broken, and that pattern gets repeated and hurts the next child, and hurts the next child, and hurts the next child. Because if something does not come in and breaks that pattern, breaks that behavior, it will continue to exist in that lineage in some kind of way. So at times, the love that you might have not received from mom, perhaps there are many, many reasons. This is not a one deal type of thing. This is not a one answer type of a situation. Perhaps for that particular mother that you did not receive love from, she just simply didn't have it for her. She didn't even have enough love for herself, much less to be able to give it to you. For another group of mothers, she did not give you the love that you wish she would have, because it was never given to her. She never learned how to give it because she never received it herself. So that's a pattern. Another group, the list goes on, but I'm just going to speak about these three. The next group of mothers, maybe perhaps this group of mothers didn't give you the love you would have wished you would have had, because she was already broken. She was perhaps born with a broken spirit that was cursed, that was traumatized in the womb. So even though she was able to grow, go to puberty, grow up and get pregnant and have you, her emotional growth and understanding and maternal connection was not at the same pace. Listen to me. Was not at the same pace as her nature. And because her emotional vibration, her maternal instincts were not connected, were not at the same pace as her nature, she was not able to give you the love you would have wished. She did the best she could, the best she knew how to, with the information she had for that time and that moment in her life. There's just three major groups. There's many, 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 many others. This in no way, shape, or form, because I don't want anyone misunderstanding or misconstruing what I am attempting to say. This does not give a pass. This does not excuse. This does not mitigate the pain that perhaps was inflicted on you. This does not give a pass or does not excuse, diminish the pain, the abandonment, or the trauma that you might have experienced. But what Spirit needs for you to understand is that even though you were traumatized, even though you went through things that were very hurtful, even though you grew up in an environment that was very loveless, we have to understand that that particular parent gave you what she had. She gave you what she had. If she had misinformation, she gave you misinformation. If she had little love, she gave you little love. If she had no love, she gave you no love. What feels like no love to you. She was probably giving you the love that she knew, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for the receiver. From the receive, things look so much different when we are in the receiving end. Trust me on that. Things look so much different when we are on the receiving side. But we have to balance ourselves by being compassionate enough to place ourselves in the other person's shoes. In this case, your mother's shoes. Now, that's easier said than done. Why? Because, again, more often than not, our mothers will not disclose her own traumas. She will not disclose her own generational curses. She will not disclose her trials and tribulations. She will not disclose what she went through. So it's hard for us to understand something that we are not informed on. It's hard for us to embrace and wrap our head around something that has not been explained or given to us. But let your heart know that you cannot receive from someone what they don't have. You cannot receive from someone what they don't have. Trust and believe on that. And we need to grow and understand and educate ourselves in knowing what that parent's limitation might have been, even when she is unwilling to share it with us. We have to be, open-minded enough and understanding and compassionate enough that something might have happened, could have happened, something occurred in that vessel's life. She was a vessel for you to come to this world. Something occurred in her life that interfered with her ability to be able to furnish you, give you the love that your inner child would have wished he or she would have had. If we understand this, if we take a moment to look at it from this perspective, then maybe, my beloved soul family, perhaps our inner child would not hurt so much anymore. Perhaps our inner child will start to walk down a path of recovery, down a path of love, of acceptance, so that your inner child doesn't continue to punish you as an adult. Because our inner child sometimes punishes us with the things that our inner child does not understand, with the things that our inner child doesn't know how to feel, doesn't know how to process, never had, was never given to. It punishes us as an adult when we don't educate our inner child, when we don't heal our inner child, when we don't embrace our inner child, when we don't nurture our inner child, when we don't speak to our inner child and let her or him know that what was done, what happened, what occurred, what went down, was just based on the amount of information that parent, this mother, had. It's very important. Because what happens, at least from my experience as a spiritual healer, I don't know about anyone else, I tend to see a lot people, adults, who punish themselves for what they never received from mother. In this case today, we're talking about mothers. This goes for fathers too, but today we're just speaking about mothers. So it is important for us to correct, educate, reparent, yes, I like that word, our inner child, so that then we can stand in our power, or you women, ladies, can stand in your power and start to do. Listen to me in this moment, so that you can finally start to do by nature what you were commanded to do, which is push. And for those of you, for those ladies out there tonight, or the ones that might be listening to this video later on, that might come at me and say, well, I never had children, and I cannot have children, or I don't ever plan on having children, or I don't want to have children. This is not about you wanting to have children or not. This goes way beyond your decision or your ability to have children. Because even if you can physically have children for whatever reasons, there's countless of reasons why women, may not be able to conceive. You are still by nature able to push. You can push out dreams. You can push out ideas. You can push out creativity. You can push out so many different things in you, and that doesn't necessarily have to be through your birth canal. Beloved, if you're my soul family, you know that in this space, we need to look at things from a broader perspective. We need to open our mind more to look at the vast opportunities that the Creator presents to us. Spirit wants every single woman on this live, and the ones that will watch this later, to reconnect with her divine, natural ability to push. To push. Push for your dreams. Push for what you desire. Push for your goals. Push for your love. Push for your growth. Push for your abundance. Every woman, whether you have children or not, whether you plan on having them or not, whether you're able to have them or not, every woman needs to connect with their natural, keyword natural, wasn't given to you by any man. It wasn't given to you by your own mother. It wasn't given to you by a doctor. It was given to you by nature. Your divine natural ability to push. That's the woman I want to speak into tonight. The woman who, even though emotionally paralyzed due to trauma or countless of other lower vibrational and negative experiences, mentally paralyzed because of what was done to you, what you experienced, what you saw, physically paralyzed. But it's my prayer tonight that you're able to push. I don't know if you got the message already, but let me repeat myself again in a different kind of way. I want you, ladies, I want you to be able to connect with that natural ability you have in your body, in your spirit, and push push out of you what trauma and what your inner child, your childhood experience paralyzed. Your childhood, your upbringing, your experiences in life paralyzed you. Whether physically, emotionally, mentally, or all of the above. And Spirit wants to reconnect you again today back into your body so that you are able to stand in your divine feminine power and you're able to start pushing out what you were born to do, pushing out your creative ideas, pushing out your growth, pushing out your abundance, pushing out of you. Am I making any sense to anyone tonight? It is important to push it out. Why? I'll tell you why. Because I believe in my spirit that every single woman in this world, in this life, is pregnant. Every single woman is pregnant. And that pregnancy doesn't always have to be a child. Why? Because God, the Creator, Mother Earth, designed you to be someone that always births new things in life. This is why there's no excuse you cannot birth a new relationship. There's no excuse for you to stay in a broken one when there's a new one for you to birth. There's no reason for you to stay in a job that depreciates you, devalues you, drains you, when you can birth a new one. Because you are by nature able to birth. By nature. Let's take just two steps back, because of course there's some women, there's some people that sometimes don't understand. So let me go a little extra mile here, energetically and spiritually speaking, because I need everyone to really understand this message. I don't want this being reduced to the physical ability to birth a child. This is not what I want this message to be reduced to. Because my answer to you would be, even if you cannot physically birth a child for whatever reason, your body was naturally created to birth. Does that make any sense? I need somebody on here to let me know if that makes any sense to you. There might be physical conditions that are interfering with your ability to physically give birth to a child, become pregnant, or what have you. But you were naturally, when you came out of your mother's womb, and the doctor said, it's a baby girl, that in itself means that you were naturally designed to birth, baby. Naturally designed to birth. You're creators. You are creators by nature. No man has power over you. No science have power over you. No circumstance have power over you. No trauma should have power over you. You are by nature designed to birth. It is my prayer tonight. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I do not know what I just received, a wave of emotion coming up in me right now. It is my prayer tonight that every single one of you ladies reconnect with your divine natural ability. Perhaps, Spirit, on this Mother's Day, on this sacred spiritual Sunday, is bringing about this message. Because it senses, it sees, it feels how broken you might find yourself in this moment. See, there are mothers that are wondering why my son and my daughter doesn't love me. There are mothers that are questioning themselves as to whether or not they did a good job. There are mothers that punish themselves because they weren't able to physically birth a child, and Spirit just wants you to look again. And Spirit is telling you, yes, you were not able to birth a physical child, but you are still pregnant with multiple of other things that you can bless with your natural ability to birth, with your natural ability to design to birth new things. Don't close your doors down. Don't close your doors down. I need them open. See, things can go in. Things cannot walk in. Things cannot show up when the doors are closed. When the doors are closed, things can't come into your life. I need you to open those doors. You lock them down. You locked your doors down when you got bad news. You locked your doors down when father never came back home. You locked your doors down when mother abused you because you were a reminder of who your daddy is. You locked your doors down when you were betrayed by the first person you fell in love with and you thought it would be an happily ever after kind of situation, only to find out that it was all a mock, that it was all a lie, that it was all bullshit. You locked the doors down when you were never praised. You locked the doors down when you were never validated. You locked the doors down when you were never held. You locked the doors down when you were never exposed to compassion, to understanding, to support. You closed the doors down when grandma had to go. You closed your doors down when you were molested. You closed your doors down when you were raped. You closed your doors down when you were violated. You closed your doors down when things continuously didn't work out in your life. You closed your doors down when you continuously lost loved ones. You closed your doors down when you were not loved by those around you. You closed your doors down when you continuously trust the wrong people. I want you to open up the doors because there's something that you have to birth. You need to push. You need to push. What's inside of you needs to be pushed. It needs to be pushed. It's inside of you. It's inside of you. It's inside of you, beloved. It's inside of you. It's inside of you, ladies. It's inside of you. Whether you're 18, whether you're 25, 35, or 55, it's inside of you. It's inside of you. You are emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually paralyzed. But there's an ability by nature that you possess that grants you the ability to birth new beginnings, grants you the ability to bring about change. Why? Because women is the epitome of change. By nature, your body's always changing. From the moment you hit puberty, it's always changing. Your body was designed for change. That means that you were designed for change. I don't know if you are really embracing what I am giving to you in this moment. You were naturally designed for change. Which means there's no excuse for you to still be stuck, for you to still feel disconnected, for you to still feel paralyzed, for you to still feel unable to do this and unable to do that. You were naturally designed for change. Your menstrual cycle came whether you were ready for it or not, whether you asked for it or not. Many of you didn't even understand what was happening to your body until it happened. Change. Change. You are the personification of change. And on this Mother's Day, I pray over a spirit of ultimate change, like the Page of Swords. Ultimate change. Being able to stand up and defend what you feel is right for you against all odds. No matter who tells you no, no matter who attempts to contradict you, question you, judge you. You're ready for ultimate change because you are change. You are change, beloved. And no one can stop that. You couldn't even stop it yourself when your body decided to change. Because you are ultimate change. You are continuous change. Who am I speaking to tonight? Perhaps Spirit is speaking to the woman, to the young lady that says, my life will never change, my life can never change, my situation is what it is, it will never change, it'll never get better, it can never get better, I don't have what it takes, it's not meant to be for me, I'm not blessed, I'm not lucky enough to change my life. Whoever you are, Spirit is here to tell you, you're wrong. You are a candidate for change. Your life can change. You have the ability to change. I can't let go of this person. Push! 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 Let's talk. Can I dive into something else for 5 minutes? Can I? Ladies, can I dive into something for 5 minutes? Can I dive into something for 5 minutes? Can I dive into something for 5 minutes? Mothers, physical mothers, the ones that have given birth. Can we agree that contractions are not a walk in the park? Can we agree that contractions are not a walk in the park? Can we agree that contractions are not pretty? Can we agree that you don't feel like smiling when you're having contractions? Can we agree on that? Can I get it? Can I get an answer from any of the mothers online? Because I wouldn't know. I'm making this statement based on what I've seen, but I don't know this because I've never been through it. But can anyone on here that's been through it tell me and validate if this is true? Contractions ain't pretty last time I saw. I had the blessing, I had the luxury. I have the luxury of being in a delivery room when my godson was born. My goddaughter, I don't know if she's on here right now, but my goddaughter Samantha, who's been with me by my side. I'm her religious godfather, and she's been by my side. Her and her mother, who's also my goddaughter, has been by my side since she was 15. Her mother is my goddaughter. When Samantha gave birth many years later, she asked me when she was pregnant, she wanted me to be there. She wanted me to be there in the delivery room. It was her mother and myself in the delivery room. I'm not gonna get into the specific situations because it's nobody's business, but needless to say, evidently, father was not present in the life, right? Baby's father was not present in the life of this child to be. And you know, to her, I'm not just her godfather. If she was on here, she will tell you herself. It's not just me hyping up because I don't hype up. But to her, I'm not her godfather. To her, I'm like her father. The father, she never really had. Anyway, long story short, I had the luxury, the blessing to be in the delivery room when she gave birth. I was there with her mom, which is my goddaughter as well. I was there with her mom for 18 hours. I was like, damn, this is something else. 18 hours. 18 hours. It was wow. And I saw my beloved goddaughter scream her life out. I'm talking about scream. I have never heard such yelling in my whole entire life. I had never, this is 7 years ago, I had never, my black ass a thought, I had never heard such screams in my whole entire life. I didn't even know that women can scream that loud. I've heard women scream before in real life, in movies and what have you, and I had never heard those screams in my whole entire life. Her and I joke about it. I bug her a lot because I call her the lioness because she sounded like a lioness, like she was roaring. I'm talking about jungle roar. It was loud. Anyway, point of the matter. As I was in that delivery room, watching life being introduced into life, one of the most beautiful experiences actually that I've ever had. But I saw the pain. I saw the pain that she had to endure, the physical pain, the aches, the discomfort. It's a lot. And then this child was born, and I cut his umbilical cord. Beautiful baby. He's 7 years old now. He's gorgeous, as gorgeous can be. What's my point with that story? My point with that story is, ladies, what happens? Let me ask this question. Let me see who knows the answer to this right off the top. Before there is beauty, before there's joy, before there's a smile. What comes first? Can any ladies give me the answer? Because I know you know. I know you know what the answer is. I know you know. What comes before the joy? What comes before the happiness? What comes before the smile? Can one person just answer that? Yes, Miss Cuba. Yes, Rick Diaz. Yes, Lisa. There's pain. There's much pain before there's joy. There's much pain before felicity. There's much pain before you're able to embrace that beautiful life in your hands. There's much pain. But when you push, when you push, and that doctor or that midwife tells you, give me another push, push with all you got. Come on, it's almost there. The head is out. You gotta push with a lot of pain. Your body feels like it's going to break. You feel like you're going to die. You feel like you won't survive. You feel like you won't see the end of that journey. But once you push it out, honey, no one can ever tell you that child is not yours. No one can ever tell you you did not put up that fight. Which is now my point. I had to do that story first to get to my point. Which is why some of you ladies are going to have to push through that pain of that betrayal. You're going to have to push through that pain of that loss. You're going to have to push through that pain of that abandonment. You're going to have to push through that pain of suffering that you've been through. You're going to have to push through that pain of trauma. You're going to have to push through that pain of abandonment. You're going to have to push through that pain of that significant other that doesn't want to be anymore in your life, and you're trying to hold them on because you feel that you won't survive without them. Yes, you will. You just got to push him out. Push him out. You're going to have to push him out. You feel like you're not going to survive. You feel like your life is going to come to an end. Just like you felt like your life was going to come to an end when you were in that delivery room. You feel that you cannot survive your mama's death. You feel that you can't survive your daddy's abandonment. You feel that you can't survive because your ex married somebody else and not you. But if you would just push this pain out, if you would just connect and align with your divine feminine nature to be able to push through the toughest experiences in your life. Push. You know who's standing on one side of you when you're pushing? Obviously, I'm going to speak based on my spiritual and religious background, which is Oricha. On one side, Oshun is standing. Okay? On one side of your Oshun is standing. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what you are experiencing. You're not pushing alone. You're not pushing alone. You are pushing while you are surrounded by your ancestors of wisdom, by your spirit guides of light, first and foremost by your divine source. You are pushing with the vibration of Oshun standing next to you. You are pushing, and you're not doing it alone. I need you to push so you don't fall back to the same predicament, so you don't fall back to the same empty places, so you don't put yourself in the same places of suffering. You need to push through it. So that then, once you've pushed through this situation, this experience, this loss, this pain, you don't believe it now, but eventually, you will then again smile. You will then again laugh. You will then again rejoice. You will then again stand in your divine power. You need to push. You need to push. When you feel like you can't make it anymore, when you feel like you can't do it anymore, when you feel that you are all alone and there's no one there for you, you better know that you have a natural divine ability to push through anything. And even though your life might be hanging between life and death, if you just push hard enough while having the faith in your divine creator, while surrendering to your divine essence, you will push through. You will not only survive, but you will be able to stand in your power. You will be able to stand in your power. But you gotta push. You gotta push. You gotta push. Because some of you have forgotten to push. Some of you are still stuck in the pain. Some of you are still stuck in those places that debilitate you and drain you and suck you dry. Some of you vacillate back and forth between going and coming and going, yes and no, maybe now, maybe later, I don't know. Push through the challenge. Push through the circumstances. Push through the debilitating experiences. You gotta push, because you got it in you by nature. You have it in you by nature, beloveds, to push. You have it in you by nature. You just have to be reminded who you are. You gotta be reminded of the kind of power you possess. You gotta be reminded that before you push today or tomorrow, somebody else pushed already before you. And another woman pushed before you. And grandmama pushed before then. And great-grandmother pushed before then. And auntie pushed too. And somebody else in your ancestral lineage pushed. When you're pushing, your great-grandmother's pushing with you. When you're pushing, your mother is pushing with you. Whether she's on board with it or not. Whether she even knows it or not. Whether you are in good terms with her or not. Whether you speak to her every single day, or whether last time you heard from her was 10 years ago. When you are pushing with the vibration and energy of every single woman in your lineage that have pushed before you. You ain't pushing alone. I'm here to remind you of this fact tonight. You gotta push, honey. You gotta push. Because you're not pushing alone. You're not pushing alone. You're not pushing alone. No, you're not. You're not pushing alone. There are countless and countless and countless of other vibrations standing by your side that are also pushing along with you so that you don't have to go through the pain alone. You think that you pushed by yourself? Silly are you. Silly are you to think and believe that you are pushing by yourself. You're pushing. When you're pushing yourself through that circumstance, when you're pushing yourself through that trauma, through that loss, through that trial and tribulation, when you're pushing, you are also pushing and helping other women push. You're pushing with the vibration of every single feminine vibration on this earth. You're helping other women push. You're helping other young ladies push in her life, in her future. You're helping other women be able to connect with that part of her that sometimes is dormant, is asleep, or it has been blocked, so that she is able to push through the toughest of situations. You don't push alone. You push in the name of your ancestors who are also pushing with you. But you also are pushing for the next one to push too. Are you listening to me? Are you embracing what I'm giving you? Before I log out, I want to say a prayer. I want to say a prayer. Hear me out. I want to say a prayer for all the mothers that are in heaven. All the mothers that are in heaven. All those grandmothers that are in heaven. All those aunts that were mothers who are in heaven. I want to set a prayer for those divine souls that are in heaven. Because some of you here tonight are, I don't know who you are, but Spirit knows who you are. And some of you tonight are missing that grandmother. You are missing that mother. You are missing that aunt. You are missing that woman that was so gracious, that was so powerful, that was so tenacious, that was so beautiful, that was such an important being in your life. And she's not here anymore physically, but she's here with you, by your side, spiritually. So I want to read a prayer. I know it by memory in Spanish, but I will read the English version of this particular prayer. And in this moment, my beloved soul family, on this Mother's Day, I want us all to take a deep breath, okay? I want us to take a deep breath. Take a very deep breath, beloved soul family. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And there's a part here where when I start to do the prayer, I will let you know. There's a part here in this prayer where you are able to mention your mother or your grandmother or great-grandmother or auntie or whoever it was. You're able to mention her name, okay, to dedicate this beautiful prayer for her. I also do this prayer in the name of all the mothers that have been lost in the last year because of the pandemic and COVID and whatever other losses, whether it was sudden loss or whether that loved one lost a battle to cancer or some other disease, whatever the circumstances were. I also dedicate this prayer to every single mother, every single woman that is not here with us today. And it says, the name of the prayer is For Our Loved Ones. And it says, bless us, Holy Father, and accept with favor the prayer that we direct to you for the soul of, mention her name, my soul family, mention her name. I'll start again so you can mention that person's name. Bless us, Holy Father, and accept with favor the prayer that we direct to you for the soul of, mention her name. May she see your holy light so that her journey to eternity can be made easier. Permit your enlightened spirits to elevate my words and my thoughts. You, who I loved on this earth, hear my voice that calls to you, affirming my love. God has allowed you to depart to freedom before me. I cannot lament this without sounding egotistical, because it would desire that you continue to suffer the trials of this life. I can only wait with resignation for the time when I can join you in a world of spiritual freedom. I know that our separation is only momentary, and for as long as its duration may seem to me, it pales in light of the eternal joy that God promises to his faithful. May his mercy preserve me from doing anything that would prolong this desired moment, and keep from me the thought that I will not find you when I leave the captivity of earth. Oh, how sweet and consoling, knowing that only a material veil keeps you from my eyes, that you can be at my side, see me and hear me as in the past, or even better. Do not forget me, as I will not forget you. May our thoughts not become confused. Know that thoughts of you will be with me to sustain me always. May the peace of the Most High be with you. May the peace of the Most High be with you. May the peace of the Most High be with you. Take a deep breath, my beloved soul family. Take a deep breath. I pray so that all those mothers that are in heaven, all those beloved mothers, grandmothers that are in heaven, are able to shower you with much love on this day. May their vibration walk with you each and every day. May they strengthen you on those days that you feel weak. May they embrace you with their spiritual love on those days that you feel so unloved. May they elevate you when you feel stuck. May they are able to become a breeze that caresses your body on those days that you feel so alone and unprotected. May they are able to walk side by side with you on those days that you feel you're going to collapse. May they be there spiritually and energetically able to hold you, so that when you feel that you are about to collapse, you never, ever, ever touch the floor. I don't know who it is, but there's a spirit, there's a grandmother that says that you don't have to feel guilty for not being present, for not showing your best love. You don't have to feel shamed and guilty for not showing your best love. When she was alive, she knows you loved her. Even though you always retaliated, or you were always in a negative, or you were always distant, or you were always didn't want to hear the advice and didn't want to be bothered, she knows that you loved her. She was to uplift the burden of you feeling like you failed her. Push, I say. Push, I say, so that you can stand in your divine power. I hear the name Marta. I hear the name Marta. I hear the name Marta. I hear Linda. Over here I hear Linda. May their spirit rest in peace. May they rise. I hear Miriam. May she rise wherever they are, may they rise in power. You're not alone. 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 Let's elevate these vibrations. As we elevate these vibrations, as we give them light and give them prayer, may they forever always stand by you in light and in power to guide you, to hold space for you, to save you from dangerous places, to cast away the people and things that you don't need, to make room for what you always deserve. I don't know who you are, but Spirit knows who you are. And someone on here tonight, this is not for anybody. This might be for many others. I see this later, but I'm talking about someone that is in this life, in this moment, who feels that she doesn't deserve love, that she will never get love, that she will never manifest love. Push! 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 I want you to push. I want you to push. I want you to push. There's a woman that shows up to me in this moment. This is a woman that battled with addictions when she was around. She battled with addictions. And she battled into her dying day. May